I grew up on a small farm, 30 miles east of New York City, writes Lucas Foglia in his short Introduction to Human Nature. Growing our food and bartering, my family felt shielded from the strip malls and suburbs around us. In 2012, Hurricane Sandy flooded out fields and blew down the oldest trees in the woods. On the news, scientists linked the storm to climate change caused by human activity. I realized that if humans are changing the weather, then there is no place on Earth unaltered by people. In this context, Foglia's choice of title is an interesting one. Is he suggesting that human nature is essentially destructive, or that nature itself is now shaped by human agency, whether it's the melting polar ice caps or America's last remaining protected wildernesses? His book provides few clear answers, but lots of clues. As in his two previous publications, A Natural Order 2012 and Front Country 2014, Foglia's portraits occupy that tricky, slightly heightened hinterland between documentary and staging. He studied at Yale, where one of his tutors was Gregory Crewdson, the master of grand-scale cinematic fabrication. Human Nature opens with an image of a naked man swinging between trees above a stream in Lost Coast, California, a place in which several communities live in seclusion on mountainous coastal terrain accessible only by hiking paths. Is this latter-day Tarzan attempting to release his primitive inner self on an Iron John-style retreat again? Foglia is not telling, but his book is punctuated by individuals interacting with the landscape in often surprising ways. Another young man, clad only in Speedos, gazes out from the manicured foliage that surrounds his hotel infinity pool. Around him, the skyscrapers of downtown Singapore loom large. The juxtaposition of urban architecture and fox nature is now a constant aspect of contemporary city planning, as evinced by the next image of two landscape gardeners tending a branch of McDonald's in Singapore, the first one to have a green roof sprouting grass. Perhaps one day cows will graze on it. King of the Swingers, a tree lover in Lost Coast, California. Photograph copyright Lucas Foglia. Courtesy of Michael Hoppen Gallery. Whether in the scientifically created rainforest environments of eco-theme parks, such as the Eden Project in Cornwall, or the vast urban greenways that are now a feature of the South Korean capital, Seoul, nature is increasingly reinvented for our benefit. Foglia ranges far and wide to collect evidence of this ongoing human-nature interface. A scientist taking samples from a geyser in the world's largest geothermal field in California, a young volunteer sleeping on a rocky outcrop next to a glacier as part of a research project undertaken by the Juneau Icefield Research Program in Alaska. There are several startling images in the book, but none more so than a volcano spouting a flow of lava from a cliff face into the sea on the coast of Hawaii, while a boat full of tourists passes by below. Here, and elsewhere, an almost National Geographic approach to the wonders of the natural world is undercut by a conceptual artist's eye for the absurd. This is the kind of hybrid terrain that Foglia has made his own, and his often large-scale digital images are even more dramatic, and even more unreal, when viewed as prints in a gallery. A selection of his work is on show at the Michael Hoppen Gallery in London until the 21st of October. The final image shows a naked young couple, Goda and Love, making love in a field of plants and wildflowers, seemingly oblivious to Foglia's presence. Apparently, their sexual abandonment is genuine, which paradoxically adds another layer of unreality to a photograph that already seems as if it has been carefully choreographed by an art director. The image was made in Hawaii, where eco-scientists have identified some of the cleanest air on the planet. This Edenic location, with its own Adam and Eve, is a symbolic place to end what is a lyrical meditation on the complex dynamic between humans and the natural world at what may prove to be a critical time for both. Human Nature, by Lucas Foglia, is published by Nazreli Press. £50.